Traditional themes in Batman Begins. Occasionally it happens, increasingly more often so, that anti-modern themes and messages gets presented by modern media, such as literature, music, and film. That there exists such a message in The Lord of the Rings is obvious to all. It is less clear in the Star Wars, and it can also be found in The Matrix. Movies with a traditional message usually become great successes and attract viewers like no others, and you often get the impression that they remain in the minds of the audience for a long time, and thus achieves a bit of catharsis effect which good theater ought to achieve. Audiences are longing for something fresh. The audience yearn for tradition, for meaning, for purpose. Batman Begins. It is possible to discern several themes in Batman Begins, themes originating in the radical conservative and traditional circuits. In the beginning of the movie, the main character Bruce Wayne finds himself in the midst of a nihilistic razor blade. He has tried to explore the criminal world and has become truly lost, which is symbolically expressed by him being in a Chinese jail. Driven by his emotions, especially his guilt, his anger and fear, and without ideals, without a solid core, the main character is even on an inner level caught in jail, imprisoned. It is now that he gets into contact with what can be best described as a traditionalist, Ra's al Ghul.
Are you so desperate to fight criminals that you lock yourself in to take them on one at a time?
Actually, there were 7 of them.
I counted 6, Mr. Wayne.
How do you know my name?
The world is too small for someone like Bruce Wayne to disappear, no matter how deep he chooses to sink.
Who are you?
My name is merely Ducard, but I speak for Ra's al Ghul, a man greatly feared by the criminal underworld. A man who can offer you a path.
Makes you think I need a path?
Someone like you is only here by choice. You have been exploring the criminal fraternity, but whatever your original intentions, you have become truly lost.
On what path can Ra's al Ghul offer?
The path of a man who shares his hatred of evil and wishes to serve true justice. The path of the League of Shadows.
The vigilantes.
No. The vigilante is just a man lost in the scramble for his own gratification. He can be destroyed or locked up. But if you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an ideal, and if they can't stop you,
Al Ghul shows Wayne the way to his stronghold in the remote mountains. A long, hard journey that ends with him being forced to fight for his life in a state of exhaustion. Wayne then begins his training in the League of Shadows. League of Shadows reminds a lot of the traditional ideas regarding Le Roi du Monde, the King of the World. The idea that there is a hidden city in the interior of the Himalayas, often in the Earth's interior, where a race of high-standing people live under the world's king. It is a spiritual center, which were hidden in the age of the Kali Yuga. Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows can with a little goodwill be seen as symbols of Chakravartin and Agartha. The traditional idea of linkages between the external worldly and the inner war is also evident in Wayne's journey to the monastery and in his training. It is impossible to separate his physical hardships of the journey to the monastery from his inner quests, as he must overcome his inner demons during the trip, who scream at him that he must turn back, that he will freeze to death, that it hurts, that he is hungry. This link between internal and external struggle is central to the Islamic Jihad concept, because during Jihad one is fighting, when all is said and done, always against their own inner demons, against cowardice and the like, but this exists in most traditions. Now, once Wayne is in the monastery, Al Ghul shares some wisdom of varying value to Wayne and the viewer. A mixed bag of Nietzscheanism. Training is nothing, the will is everything. Your father failed because he failed to act. Or Oriental wisdoms, you have sacrificed secure footing for a killing blow. Mind your surroundings. And Jungianism, referring to Carl Jung.
I miss him, Alfred. I miss him so much.
So do I, Master. So do I.
Do you still feel responsible for your parents' death?
My anger outweighs my guilt.
Come. You have learned to bury your guilt with anger. I will teach you to confront it and to face the truth. You know how to fight 6 men. We can teach you how to engage 600. You know how to disappear. We can teach you to become truly invisible.
Invisible?
Abhi! Ninja understands that invisibility is a matter of patience and agility. Always mind your surroundings. Ninjutsu employs explosive powders as weapons or distractions. Theatricality and deception are powerful agents. You must become more than just a man in the mind of your opponent.
Who is he?
He was a farmer, and he tried to take his neighbor's land and became a murderer. Now he is a prisoner.
What'll happen to him?
Justice? Crime cannot be tolerated. Criminals thrive on the indulgence of society's understanding. Your parents' death was not your fault. It was your father's. Anger does not change the fact that your father failed to act.
A man had a gun.
Would that stop you?
I've had training.
The training is nothing. The will is everything.
You must become more than a man. You must become an idea. The Jungian theme runs like a red thread through Batman Begins. Scarecrow says at one point that the mentally insane often externalize their demons to an outside figure, a Jungian archetype. Even Batman himself is such a Jungian archetype, taken from the collective unconscious.
I'm going to show the people of Gotham their city doesn't belong to the criminals and the corrupt.
In the Depression, your father nearly bankrupted Wayne Enterprises combating poverty. He believed that his example could inspire the wealthy of Gotham to save their city.
Did it?
In a way, their murder shocked the wealthy and the powerful into action.
People need dramatic examples to shake them out of apathy, and I can't do that as Bruce Wayne. As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored, I can be destroyed, but as a symbol, I can be incorruptible. I can be everlasting.
What symbol?
Something elemental, something terrifying.
Die! Die! Why won't you die? Why won't you die? Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea, Mr. Creedy. And ideas are bulletproof.
He is a dark archetype associated with the night, with the bats, and the horror of the criminals because justice will be served. The heroic view of human beings, where a small group of Übermensch, overmen, supermen, men that are more than men, is contrasted with Gotham's rootless, pointlessly roaming masses, may perhaps not even need to be commented on. You can also see a traditional philosophy in the figure of Batman. Evola writes that in traditional societies, individuals gave up their names when they got a particular job. The only examples in present time that I can think of is the Pope. This was paradoxically also a landmark in the personal development from the purely human, the human emotions such as comfort, fear, and so on.
Wait! You could die. At least tell me your name.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Bruce?
There is also an interesting tension between Batman and the League of Shadows. Al Ghul tell Bruce Wayne that they've in all times fought against civilizations that have become too corrupt, and that they were the ones who gave these corrupt civilizations the last little push into their own downfall. They have sent plagues rats to Europe. They were behind the fall of Constantinople, and now it's Gotham's turn. They execute criminals even when the state does not. Their laws are timeless, unlike the state's. Wayne, or Batman, reacts against this as it leads to the suffering of the innocent, and the movie is thereafter built around the conflict between Al Ghul and Batman's two similar yet opposing worldviews. It is possible to find legitimization for both perspectives in the tradition. League of Shadows does what is necessary, to quote Gitane. They set themselves above all human emotions, including compassion. The parallel to the Italian neo-fascists who, inspired by Evola, killed several civilians in order to create unrest and smash the bourgeoisie state, is obvious. Wayne, however, cannot imagine killing innocent people, but instead chooses to, like a Kshatriya, defend his nation against outside threats. In this decision of his, he is also forced to rise above human emotions as loyalty to a teacher. The question is, of course, how well Al Ghul managed to rise above purely human feelings. His descriptions of Gotham is often based on some moralizing.